All right. Okay, cool. So thank you all for joining. I know it's I don't know that we'll take the entire hour, but I thank y'all for being here and logging in, taking some time out of your day to hear a little bit more about RLDC. Hopefully we can convince y'all to go if you're still on the fence on going. So my name is Cindy Sanchez. I'm the regional vice president for Region 5. So I overlook Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and a couple of other states. So basically all of the South except for like Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas. Um, and yeah, so this is catered to professional leaders. I know that it's very easy. It might be a lot easier for students to see the value in attending RLDC. And that's why Miguel, Sanina, and I thought it was a really good idea to maybe host an info session for RLDC specifically for professionals so that we can talk about some of the things that you might have questions on, like the agenda, logistics, the purpose for a professional leader to attend this conference. So we'll try to tackle all of those questions here. I do want to mention that you'll see a QR code here and on all of the slides. This QR code will take you specifically to the RLDC website, specifically to ours, the RLDC Region 3 and 5-1. So if you haven't checked that out, I encourage you to do so. There's a lot of really good information there. All right, and so for tonight's agenda, I have purpose, the conference agenda, logistics, and resources, which I think I'm lacking a little bit on the resources slide, but we'll get to it later on. So for the purpose, I guess show of hands, or you can unmute your mic if you'd like to. How many of you all have been to RLDC before? Okay, we have one. We got a couple. Okay, awesome. We have a couple. Cool. I know last year it was a little different in that it was Shep Live, and it was a lot different than what your typical original RLDC was pre-COVID. So there's a lot of changes. After Shep Live, the general feedback was that the membership didn't really like it. So that's why we're going back to some, if not most, of the RLDC structure that we had prior to the Chef Live last year. And it is meant to be basically a smaller version of the national conference. So obviously a regional audience is what we're expecting. We're still going to have local learning events such as workshops. I think we have mentorship as well, and we have a couple of networking sessions as well. So RLDC, if you don't know what it stands for, Regional Leadership Development Conference. I know this used to be marketed more as this is the smaller version of National Convention, and it's a great way for you to work on your leadership, especially if you were thinking about potentially running for an officer position for your chapter, whether you're a student or a professional. So I did mention it's smaller than convention. It's a great way to network with neighboring chapters. This can be true as well for the professionals. A fantastic opportunity for professionals to mentor students, and I'll go over what those opportunities look like. And it'll also give you a good introduction to the Chef conferences. Specifically, if you've never been to convention before, it can be very, very overwhelming, to say the least. So this could be a very good introduction to how conferences can look like at SHEP. I do want to mention, if you guys have any questions, I do want to make this an engaging session. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them on the chat or just unmute yourself and interrupt me. Like, I have no problems with that. We're here to answer your questions and hopefully get you to sign up for RLDC. Have you guys taken a look at the agenda for RLDC?
Yes.
Yep, we have one.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, if you guys allow me, we'll take a look at it really quickly, just so that you guys can familiarize yourselves. Did I hear somebody on the chat? Not yet. Okay, cool. So this is what the agenda looks like. This is a very general agenda. They are going to update it into the mobile app 2 weeks prior to the start of convention. So I believe I have it in one of the upcoming slides, but around February 28th or 29th is when everything is going to be finalized. And when I mean finalized, I mean who's going to present it, like names, companies, description of the workshop, and things of that nature. But so far, what is established are the workshop times and other event times. So March 14th is a little lighter than Friday and Saturday in that it's registration, mercado, the resume review, where we are looking for professional volunteers to help critique our students' resumes. And we do have a regional networking session from 6 to 7. And then March 15th is where we start to see more of the workshops. We'll have morning coffee, registration. We do have that mentorship portion here in the morning as well. So if you're interested in mentoring some students, we are looking for professionals to sign up for that. We have opening ceremony, transition times, and if you look at this 10:15 time slot, we have 2 different topics per se. And this is because the way that they're splitting up the agenda in the workshops is having a beginner's level and an advanced level. So the beginner's level is supposed to be catered to like new members, underclassmen, and the advanced will be your professionals and or experienced like senior students. I know that's always a question, like what kind of programming is available for professionals, and that's what the solution they've come up with. There will be a sponsor showcase. I know a lot of people usually ask if there's going to be a career fair, and the sponsor showcase is a career fair, but you kind of merge that with speed networking, and you have basically a timed period with each sponsor. And in that timed period, you're able to ask questions. They can tell you more about their company and what opportunities they might or might not have.
Cindy, do we have a list of those people that will be sponsor showcase?
That is a very good question. I believe if we go to meet the sponsors, we should be able to see all of the ones that are in the top where it says event sponsors. So Accenture, USAA, ExxonMobil, Granite, and NYU will be there, is what I'm expecting. And they do have the IPC listed down here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that IPC will be there.
Okay.
And I can ask, because I wonder if NYU is actually going to be down in San Antonio. They might, but I'll ask to see if this is the most updated version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Yeah, and the rest of the agenda looks very similar. You'll have your 2 workshops going on. Sponsor showcase, we'll kind of split it into groups and we'll have different rotations. We'll have networking opportunities. And then we have a SHEP for you, which is basically crash course about SHEP if you're not familiar with SHEP. And then the chapter meetings, or the regional meetings. I don't know why it has chapter, but these are the regional meetings that will tie up the conference. Selena, I don't know if you want to add anything for like professional networking that we might or might not be working on.
Yeah, I need to talk to Chris about it.
Okay. Okay.
Detail, yeah.
So for everyone, basically we're trying to set up some sort of professionals only networking session, either Thursday or Friday, or even Saturday, where we can basically have our own networking session outside of the conference. So also something to look forward to.
Yeah, I think the main thing is going to be how many professionals we get to sign up, so we
Yes.
can see how many we need to plan for.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. I think I did mention a couple of these topics. Volunteering opportunities breakdown is basically the resume review on Thursday and the mentorship opportunity, which will be ongoing through the conference and after the conference as well. So you have the opportunity to mentor the students, whoever you get paired up with you or you select. You can continue that mentorship after the conference. And I did mention the split of the workshop programming. Any questions so far? Okay. This is another one, basically a rundown of all what is on the agenda, which I went over just now. Okay, if no more questions, we'll move on to logistics. So if you guys may do or don't know, March 14th to the 16th is the entirety of the conference. That is a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it's not just Region 5 this time. I know in the past it's been one conference per region, so there's been a total of 7. This year they are consolidating down to 4 because it's really hard to split our teams 7 different times. So they're doing 4 conferences. They combined Region 3 and 5, and this year it's in San Antonio. It's near the Riverwalk, and the address is there as it is on the website, which you can access via the QR code. The price is $125 for registration, whether you're undergrad, graduate, or professional. And then if you're a lifetime member, you get that 10% discount, which is automatically applied because you do have to go through Shep Connect. So if you are a lifetime member and you see that the discount is not being applied, please email myself and we can get that figured out with the staff. I know questions have been asked, what's included with this registration? So all of the sessions on site, all the workshops, the networking sessions, complimentary swag. So whether, I think usually it's like a bag and maybe like some pens, things like that. 2 on-site lunches, that'll be Friday and Saturday. Coffee service in the morning, that's also Friday and Saturday, and that's it. So that's a little different than it's been before. It does not include lodging, travel, any dinners, or any breakfasts. So that's something to keep in mind. And if your chapter is interested in bulk registration, you can always email registration@shep.org. But if you're just going individually, then you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Any questions on logistics? And then I know, Selena, at the end, I have a space where we can talk about lodging. So we can hold off on that towards the end.
Quick question, Cindy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go about through the Region 5 meeting? What is it gonna be about? What are the titles?
Oh, I can. I didn't include that in the slides, but I can definitely give y'all a review of what's going to be on there. Let me see what my next one. And I think that's it. Okay, so the regional meeting, that's a great question. So the regional meeting on Saturday, which is going to be at the very end, it's 2:45 to 4 p.m. There are a couple of things. We usually do announcements. If you guys were familiar or are familiar with the regional meeting at convention, we kind of did major announcements. Like we talked about what's our next conference, which at the time was RLDC. Also, chapter awards, if we had any pending chapter awards. This time around, I believe the application already went live. If you're interested in nominating yourself or someone else for an individual award or a chapter award, you can do so through the link, which I can provide later on as well. And that's going to be presented at the regional meeting. So kind of adds, a little suspense there. Because you can, if you win a professional award, then you can always put that in your resume. You can post it on your LinkedIn, somebody can see it, and who knows, you can get an opportunity. We also talk about like chapter operations, which is specific to the leaders. We also are going to talk about our regional retreats and outings for professionals specifically. We are planning to have 2 different outings later on this year, sometime in the summer. And I mean, that's always going to be a really fun time. We had our first 2 last year. One was going to a Trash Pandas game in Alabama. Yeah. And then one was tubing down the river in San Marcos. So we talk more about that at the regional meeting. A couple other things. We also award the efforts that chapters have been doing when it comes to Chef Junior. Any new chapters that join us from now until then, we acknowledge them there. And we're also thinking about running a competition for professional chapters specifically, where professional chapters are going to be able to compete for up to $300 so they can use on an event of their choice. And that is if they bring the highest amount or the highest percentage of their membership to RLDC. So that's an incentive for the chapters. And if you're passionate about that, about winning those $300 for your chapter, I mean, that can help too. So yeah, there's a couple of things. And then I know that our finance team, our national finance team, is also going to speak on a couple of things at the regional meeting and Equipando Padres. So if you have any questions on Noche de Ciencias, Equipando Padres, that's also on the agenda for that. So the regional meeting is loaded with a lot of information. A lot of information. What other questions do you guys have? Or maybe anything that you're interested in learning more about that I haven't covered so far? I know. Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a quick question. It starts the 14th. Is that the day that professionals have to arrive, or you can arrive on Friday?
You can arrive on Friday. Here, let me see if I can pull up the agenda again. You can arrive on Friday because on Friday we still have the registration open. So if you can't arrive on Thursday, that's completely fine. I will say that on Thursday, though, you'll be missing out on the regional networking and the resume review if you were interested in volunteering for those opportunities.
Oh, okay,
but that's the only thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've also been asked that question before. But if the only days you can make are February, Friday and Saturday, that's completely fine as well. For lodging, I know some people have been asking about the lodging situation. So lodging is available at the same hotel where the programming is going to be held in until February 21st. I believe that's next week, Wednesday. Yeah, so next week, Wednesday, you have until then to book your room because we do have a room section. I don't know how to say it. Room block. We have a room block allotted for the conference. But don't feel like that is your only choice for lodging, because I do believe it's $289 per night. And depending on how your budget runs, I understand that may not be in the budget. So Selena has actually taken the initiative to create a form to see how many people are interested in potentially rooming or getting an Airbnb. If it'll open, here we go. So lodging interest form. This is what it is. I don't know, Selena, if you want to cover anything else or add anything.
Yeah, I mean, the form is pretty straightforward. We have 9 responses so far. 7 of them are interested in the shared Airbnb. So I'm going to look at what the options would be. And then we'll create a sign-up form where, you know, for those that are interested can sign up for their spot and then do the deposit and all that fun stuff. It looks like we have around 7 people, so maybe I'll find a place for 7 to 10 and see how many people we get signed up. I know, Cindy, y'all, you know, that whole team gets it, but
yeah,
I think we'll see who else is interested. But yeah, I'll send out the options and then we can sign up from there. But yeah, it'll be way cheaper than the 200 something, almost 300 a night.
Yeah, because we actually have the most expensive hotel rates than the other 3. And I was like, oh, that's fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it looks like we have people that came from like Austin from the what's it called, regional event, so that's cool. It'll be a good mix.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Is there anything I did not talk about that you guys need to be addressed?
I was gonna say, Cindy, we're looking at the pictures the other days, or where is it gonna be exactly? And the view from the hotel, like during the event, like it's literally right next to to the river. Like it's pretty cool. Like you pull up Google real quick and just put the address, and then you'll see how close it is. Like literally, you can see the whole, like from the top, you can see the whole. I was gonna say Trinity River, but it's not Trinity River.
Next to the Riverwalk.
There you go, Riverwalk.
Okay, it is San Antonio Marriott River Center. What is it? The Marriott. This one, I think. Marriott River Center. I guess. There's 2, but
I think it's that one. Just open up the pictures on Google and you'll see. I think it's that one.
that's cute. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty nice. Iconic. Yeah, that actually is. Because I think we're right next to like the river center, like the mall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's one with an angle where you can see it from the. It's right literally next to the river.
Well, it looks nice, and I'm excited because I'm gonna be there. All right, what are the questions? I know you guys have questions. What's holding y'all back from registering? I'm curious to know.
So Cindy, I know some of our members were wondering, like, why would professionals go to this? Mostly because it's mostly for students. But I guess that was the holdback for a few professionals.
Yeah. And yeah, and I mean that's popular. It's a fair call. I've also asked myself that before. But the only reason why I go before I became RVP, the reasons why I went to RLDC was because I usually volunteer to give like a workshop, and then take advantage of the networking opportunity to see people that I usually don't see at like the local level, like in Houston. I know that's not enough for some people, but I do like the fact that they're adding an official mentorship module within the conference as well. So I think at this point in time, it's less the programming and more the networking and the opportunity to volunteer to help students with resume critiques and through the mentorship platform that they're going to have in, what was it, Friday, I believe. So I'd say those are the main points. And then of course, if you're a professional and you're interested in changing industries, this can also be a really good opportunity to make some connections that you might not have before. I will say, if you guys are interested in a potential leadership role, whether that's within your chapter or at the regional level, like for example, my RVP position goes up for election next year. If that's something that you're interested in, this could also be kind of a good way to see, like, what does my position, someone in my position, get to do, or what are the responsibilities. This is also something that you could take advantage of in that way. I know it doesn't apply to everyone, but I did want to mention that it could be a possibility that someone can use it for that. I also want to point out that some suggestions have been thrown out to have like a PMP boot camp or course or something of that nature. I know that when I was a student, they did have the PMP boot camp, and I think it was like a whole day on a Friday or the Saturday, but the turnout was usually very low. Less than 5 people would actually show up for that. So that's why they discontinued anything having to deal with like proper licenses or boot camps for any kind of certification. Because I know that's always a suggestion, and that's the reasoning why they don't do it anymore. Which is a little, it kind of sucks, because I'm like, I want to take the PMP. Like, I would go, but one person's not enough. It has to be, the business case has to be built for it, right? And the interest has to be there. I hope that helps. Trying to be as transparent as possible.
No, that was great. Thank you.
Eloy, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say that yes, it did. I'm also one of those people that are still on the fence. I used to go to the RLDCs as an undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be my first one as a professional. So I'm kind of like waging, like,
Right.
if if I should go or if I shouldn't. I am inclined on going because of the networking.
Mm-hmm.
I also am interested in meeting different people and just seeing, opening new bridges.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's one of the main reasons why I would be interested in going.
Are you local to San Antonio or?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay. Is everyone here in Dallas?
I'm from LM. So, yeah.
But she is in Dallas, the
Okay.
city.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so everyone's in Dallas. What is that? A 4-hour drive for y'all?
Depending on traffic, yeah, 4.5.
Yeah. That's always the case in Texas, yeah. Well, if the traffic is non-existent, then
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the reasons are in the like for RLDC is kind of in the middle of national, like why professionals go to national conference versus like our retreats, right? Because like national conference, it's way bigger. You're networking with people across the country, but RLDC is like a mini version of nationals, but also like the regional retreat where it's people in our region that we're networking with and just building memories with. I mean, our retreats are not what's it called, professional building, but it's all about the networking and making memories with the chef familia, where this does have the professional networking and the mentorship, helping other students, really just being that example, and then
yeah.
also just the workshops as well that nationals has. So it's I would say it's a mix of both.
If I would call 3 reasons why like I'm saying like I'm willing to go, it's number one is just the network environment, especially because it's not only gonna be region 5, definitely it's gonna be region 3. That's a big aspect
Mhm.
right there. And then the other one is uh you go as a role model to students to help students. That's how I felt in nationals. I didn't feel that pressure of like trying to look for a job. I felt like you go as a role model. Students look up to you, and you give them advice, give them an example on how to deal, especially trying to look for a job and stuff like that. And then the third one is just like Selena said, just not only the network and the professional environment, but like just to link with people and connect with other people and have fun. Especially San Antonio. San Antonio is pretty nice, and I know that the agenda there is pretty flexible, so that would be a good time for us to go and out there and just explore around, and it will give
Yeah.
me a little bit of getting outside of work in my daily routine. So that's the other reason as well.
These are good points. I do want to mention we're gonna have a Shatina cafecito on Saturday morning. So along with the coffee service, we're gonna try and bring pan dulce. So that's also another thing to look forward to. Small, but it adds one more thing to the list.
We're gonna have a Shatino Tequila Thursday if y'all are interested as well.
Are you leading that?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ni toma.
But okay, but like whoever volunteers, Six Flags Saturday, yo,
Cool.
that's or Six Flags Sunday.
Ooh.
That's what I was telling him. Like Sunday in the morning, like there's nothing we can do. We can do a bunch of stuff there too. Saturday night, Sunday morning,
I forgot Six Flags was there. Oh, it's
and
been
then
so long
and
since
then and then this. What's the other one? SeaWorld, right?
Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'll go to Six Flags.
Yeah, that one's depressing.
But we got
Yeah.
Six Flags over here in Dallas, so that's not a point for us, Cindy.
Well, someone decided that we didn't need Astro World, so we don't have one in Houston. So I will be forever mad. Arlington.
In Arlington, to be more precise.
I haven't been to that one. I hear it's good though.
So someone died there, so be careful.
No me digas eso. Like,
No, for real. I think someone died a few years back, a couple of years back.
well, all right. Any other questions? Comments? Did you guys find this helpful? It's okay if we didn't.
No,
I would
no,
just like to know if what we can improve on.
no. I was gonna say thanks for your time, Cindy. It's a lot of information there, and I was looking forward to meeting a lot of people. And I was just gonna throw it out there for y'all since you're like part of the regional board, or you and Selena's part in the call. But
Mhm.
like if y'all can vouch for like more like for professionals out there, like as far as like, hey, let's try to, that way if we go this, like if as we take as much as we can this year, and then if they like it as far as the professional aspect on it, like if you'll vouch for like having something that it's more like targeted professionals within RLDC. I don't know, like workshops for professional, like, or you say
Yeah.
y'all working on a networking event just for professionals. Like, even though we start small, like that's a good start for us to keep motivating professionals to come and then every year and then keep building up from there. You're not gonna
Yeah.
build one thing from one day to another, but it's always a good start somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, whoever, we are planning on having a chat for all of the professionals that do make it out to RLDC, so we can kind of like, plan together like what's the move for, mentorship or after conference activities and things like that. And I do want to say, I think this is a really good point that you brought up, Miguel. Like, we can essentially be like guinea pigs for like, hey, this was great, but how we can make it even better for professionals or sell it better for next year for professionals is by adding this session or this event or XYZ. And especially the sooner that we can give that feedback to the staff and the team that's planning RLDC for next year, the earlier that we can ensure that these things are on the agenda for next year, so that we don't have a lot of I guess skepticism towards RLDC as a professional. So it all starts with us. So if anything, it's going to be a fun time, and I encourage everyone to make it if you can. We'll be there.
Sounds like a deal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Selena. Thank you, Cindy, for your information. We really appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all's agenda to put this together.
Oh, and do you guys need the link to the form here? Or are you gonna send this out via an email, Miguel?
Yeah, we put it. We have it on social media as well. We put the link up for the form for the which is that the form for the lodging?
See.
Oh yeah, we have it on social media. We have it on Slack. Has anyone not seen the form on the call by any chance? Raise your hand or send a message or something. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the form.
Okay.
No one has said anything, so we have it everywhere. And
Okay.
like I have on our Slack, Insta, and LinkedIn everywhere. So I think we all have it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're interested in lodging, fill it out by today though, so because I'm gonna send out the options tonight.
Ooh. And then, do you guys want the slides? Is there anybody that wants these slides so they can reference them?
Yes, I have a friend that's in San Antonio, and he's not in any reach. He hasn't found. We're from Florida,
Okay.
so we just moved over here, and he hasn't found like a professional chapter over there. So I sent him a screenshot, and he does want to go. So
Ooh, okay, perfect. Can you? I think you're the only one. So just type in your email in the chat, and I can send it to you. And then Miguel and Selena, I'll send it to y'all regardless as well.
Sounds like a deal.
Got it. All right, I'll send y'all the slides in the next 10 minutes.
All right, awesome.
All right. I don't think anyone has any other questions.
No, I think we're good. Thank you so much, Cindy, and thanks everyone for joining. Y'all have a great night.
Of course. Y'all have a good
Thank
night.
you.
All right, bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.